So devotees, we have three different shlokas today. Let us try to understand this. Um, so there's a question by Arjuna. So let us see what he is asking. Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvatah katam etat vijaniyam tvam proktavaniti. Translation. Arjuna said, the sun god Vivasvan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this science to him? So to this, Krishna is answering. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Bahuni me vidithani janmani tavacha Arjuna tanyaham veda sarvani nattam veda parantapa. Translation. The personality of Godhead said, many, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of the enemy. Next shloka. Ajopi san avyayatma bhutanam ishvaropi san prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavamyam atmamayaya. Translation. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, by my internal energy, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So, devotees here, Krishna, he's having a conversation. So, this chapter is about transcendental knowledge. And we are trying to understand Bhagavad-gītā through these, throughout Bhagavad-gītā, we find the concept of bhakti. So here there's a conversation where Arjuna has a question. Now, this is not something which he's doubting or it is a blind faith, but this is something which he is curious to know when Krishna is telling that this particular same knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was given to the sun god long back, many, many millions of years back. Now it's natural that someone speaks or someone hears like this. This is a natural doubt which comes to the mind. So how do we take it? So how do we understand this? So Arjuna is not suspicious or he's having some blind faith, but out of curiosity, he's asking this profound question. Now the words he chooses is very particular. So he's mentioning about the sun god being older than Krishna, and how is that he could have given this knowledge to him if sun god is older than Krishna and Krishna is appeared um, alongside with Arjuna in the Dwapara Yuga. And he's cautious in taking the questions um, by asking, and he's not asking a suspicious questions like how we will doubt. So he's asking, how am I to understand? See the words he chose. He's not deriding or he's not refusing what Krishna is claiming here. So that's the beauty of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is allowing Arjuna to ask these questions, so it is beneficial as well. So what Krishna answer? So Krishna is telling that both have passed many births, but one is able to remember, the other is not. So this is something which the concept of reincarnation arrives. How we are able to take birth again and again, many forms, many species, but we are not able to remember everything. On an average, our brain, human brain is around 1 to 1.5 kilo. And so much of memory in bits, it has been stored, and so many gets deleted as well. So just like you have in your phone, the auto mode where it deletes the unnecessary files, the cache file, you would know that, automatically you'll get that. notification, and it says your memory is cleared and you have space for your RAM so that you can use the phone properly. So something that kind we can relate that Krishna has given this opportunity, and he has created this nature in everyone that nobody will remember the past. It's very rare that somebody would remember their past. Especially, we have seen modern scientific case studies where people remember their immediate last birth. They were somewhere, either in some village or some city or somewhere. So there were a lot of case studies which was involved. People went there and they verified it, and it turned out to be true. It's not just one case or two case. In fact, I don't remember the doctor name, but he is a famous case study which he did on a lot of reincarnation theories. So he traveled around the world, and he has done more than 3,000 case studies studying those natures. So in modern scientific way also, if we see, there is proof that people are taking again birth once they die. So this is a question to the people or the religion across the world. They claim that there's only one, the Lord or the God has given us only one birth, and you enjoy. There's a concept of, this is the only life. People, usually tell that this is the only life, enjoy, be merry, happy, and die. So that is the concept many people have, and that's how the materialism is working. So much of enjoyment is at our carpet, and people are careless, carefree. So that's a grand delusion people are living under. But we have to understand this concept of or the reappearance of the birth which comes again and again, again and again. You're dying and again taking birth. So the whole concept of karma was also explained in the previous chapter as well. And in the future also Krishna will tell. And elsewhere in the Vedas also the concept of karma is very vividly explained. So we need to understand why we take birth and how we are passing our days in a temporary manner. But the person who is very fortunate will remember the Lord. That's by the mercy of the devotees, and he is able to understand. So Krishna is mentioning what is the difference between a normal, ordinary soul who takes birth and his transcendental body. So this is something for the Mayavadis or the people who say Nirakar, or the people who deny uh, Lord having a transcendental form. They mention that he just takes birth like us, and there are so many stories comes up. So Krishna is clearly mentioning here that Ajaha. He says Janma is something which is birth, and he's saying Ajaha is un, and he's saying Avyaya doesn't deteriorate at all. His body never deteriorates. We have seen in Mahabharata that when he was fighting on the battlefield, he was on the chariot. Vyasa is that he is looking like a 16-year-old boy. We have seen in our houses or our friends how a 16-year-old boy looks. But Krishna is already 125 years and he has great grandchildren during that time. So during the war. So how do we understand this? Then, so here Krishna himself is telling to Arjuna that my body never deteriorates like you, Arjuna. You will become old, you will give up the body, but my body is different from you. So something which is startling, very mysterious to understand how a person would appear, who never dies. That is something which we are also naturally seeking for. We are hankering for that because we are done with suffering in this world. Every time, every day, I'm suffering actually. Somehow or the other, I'm getting into some problem, either body, physically, or it can be emotional. Anything, we are going through a lot of things. Now, I want some permanent solution. That is why we are looking for some happiness. So I don't find, first of all, I am suspicious about the faith I have, whether God is there or not. I'm doing something. And upon that, I go away from him, and there's so much of variety of options which are available. So I enjoy. So I'm trying to seek my happiness in this temporary world. So I'm suffering actually. So that is what he's saying. So Krishna is saying, my body is completely different. So he's saying, Bhutana, those who are born. So who are born, he's completely different. And he's telling, I am the Ishvara. Ishvara is the one who controls everybody. Who's the control? And Krishna is the Parameshvara. He controls everybody. And how does he respond? You ask. When we ask, he will respond to you. And his transcendental form, Prakritim, so he is completely different from what we are. So that we have to understand. So this transcendental personality, the Supreme Lord, appeared in front of Arjuna, and he is telling that he appears only Sambhavami. He's mentioning the Sambhavami, Atma Maya. So this particular shloka, there was a big debate, a lot of fights happened between Mayavadis and Vaishnavas in the past. Now, today also the Mayavadis tell, no, no, see, Krishna has mentioned about Maya. So he is also Atma Maya. So he is also part of this Maya. So the whole concept is we are all living under a nature, and when the supreme consciousness has to appear, he will come through Maya, and he's controlled under Maya. So that's why we term them as Mayavadis. So they say that Maya is everything, and she's the supreme controller. And even when the Supreme Lord appears, okay, and he also is under the jurisdiction of Maya. Srila Prabhupada mentions about a beautiful example. He gives the analogy of the central jail. He says there's a difference between the prisoners, and also there's a difference between the jailer. The jailer isn't suffering. He is controlling the other prisoners who are committed offense, or they're sinful. They have done some crime. So similarly, all the living entities have done some sinful activity or some crime. We don't remember those things. I do not have account of those things. So we are suffering. We have been put up in a cage, and we are given little food, and we are there, heat or cold. We are just there in that cell. So similarly, we are caught up in this material world, suffering, and we don't know how to get out. Now, how I can get out of the jail? So that is by asking or pleading for mercy. So that is the reason why devotees have to pray every day that keep me out of Maya. The more we get into this delusion, the more we get involved in this world, and we'll not be able to. Srila Prabhupada cautions us that the golden age has started since the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and you just have 10,000 years, the golden age. And it is very carefully to be, I mean, threading on this path, that we have to finish our bhakti process and get out as early as possible. So that means we have to be very serious in this life itself. We may be left with few years, maybe some are left with 5 years, some are because they have become old, some are left with 10 years. Somebody would have just started the Krishna consciousness. They're very young, maybe they're 5 year old. Irrespective of the age, one should take up this process. Since you all have already started this process, so we all have to, including myself, we have to become serious day by day. How can I hear more and more about the Lord? How can I read about the Lord? How can I hear about Him? How can I engage myself in the service? Krishna says, little service also you do, I will respond to it. Just like a mother, the child is unable to speak. But just by hearing the child's anklet, or it makes some sound, you know. So the mother is so cautious and curious. She runs after. She's happy to see his child. So similarly, we have to be very, very alert that Krishna is waiting for us, and he's always stretching out his arms. We have seen Panchatattva, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is raising his hands. He is surrendering to the Supreme Lord. At the same time, he's teaching us that he's opening his arms and he's calling us. So we have to go to Krishna, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord who will give us that energy. He's the actually maintainer. We think I am maintaining myself because of some work I'm doing, I'm getting some money, some package is there, I have some house, I have so much of things, gold, so many belongings, possessing so many things. Who is given that? Of course, it's by your karma. You have done some good deeds. We all have done something in the past. Now, since we have received it, how can I engage that in Krishna service? So that is the understanding. So when you put those energy, because this is all energy, whatever you have acquired, it's all because of the energy you've spent in the past. Now, whatever the energy you're exhibiting, that is also you're going to spend. So each individual has some energy. Some are very great, some are very energetic. So I have seen devotees, they're very, 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 they're very, what do you say? Um, so they're very active. They're ready. They go here and there, travel around the world. So much of energy they have, and they'll be like 50 years old. There's so many senior devotees. There's sannyasis. They travel around the world. They preach. So what we are doing, we're just eating, sleeping. So I have to move forward. Okay, I'm doing 16 rounds. I'm doing some reading. Let me do something else also. Let me see how much time available out of 24 hours. So how can I engage in that? So that is something which I have. So that is moving forward. How can I engage myself in the service of Krishna? If I'm not engaged in the service of Krishna, she- Maya. So she will put me in delusion. So either one has to be in Maya, or one has to be, so only two of them. I cannot balance. I cannot in Maya. So, okay, let me enjoy materialism, and at the same time, let me do spiritualism also. So that is something stage, the neophyte stage. That is the understanding. So Srila Prabhupada mentions about the three classes of men in Krishna consciousness. So that is the third class category. So second class, his little firm and his faith has built, and next stage is where he will never fall down. This I think I have mentioned in the previous classes also. So we have to move forward, promoting ourselves, building slowly the faith. So that is possible by the mercy of Guru and Gauranga. Without them, very difficult for to remain in Krishna consciousness. So this is not a mechanical process what we are following. It is completely reciprocative, and whatever you pray, whatever you chant, you dance, it's been reciprocated by Krishna. You see, the Kaliya, it is a snake. Kaliya was a big snake, poisonous snake. He was disturbing all the Vrajavasis. But you see the features of Kaliya. The snake is smooth. If you have touched these snakes in maybe in your life, it's slippery, and it's very strong also. It's the reptile is very strong, and it's poisonous as well. Now our tongue is similar to that. It is slippery, and tongue is the strongest muscle in our body. Modern scientists mention this. And when you do not engage in the service of Krishna, that means you do not speak anything about Krishna. The tongue is poisonous. So we'll do gossips. This devotee, or that person, this person. So Gramya Katha, we'll get involved in Gramya Katha, Vishaya. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur very nicely sings that he says Gopinath, okay, he's praying to Gopinath, Vishayi Durjana, okay. So what does that mean? So he's singing Gopinath Mama Vedana Suno. So he's telling that please listen to me, Gopinath. I have this Nivedana, I have this asking, I have this prayer. So I'm in the Vishayi Durjana. I'm a Durjana. First of all, I'm not a Sujana, I'm a Durjana, and I'm involved in Vishaya. What is this Vishaya? Vishaya is I'm involved in the world limit. So very beautifully this song has been sung, the Gopinath song. So he's mentioning the Vishaya. So Vishaya means, yes, of course, the word, and Visha also means poison. So similarly, our tongue, which is very slippery, that's why we say slip of the tongue. So many things slip out of our tongue. We do not have control over tongue. So control of tongue is very important. We keep as much as possible. Uh, Prabhupada in another shloka mentions about, because Krishna mentions about a mauni or a person who is silent. So what does that mean? So I will talk only about Krishna. Of course, we have to deal how, we have office work. I have to talk to people. Yes, you talk. Whatever it is related, we will talk. But not unnecessary talks. That is a characteristic or a feature of a loose mind. So the tongue is not controlled, the mind is not controlled. So how do we control it? Krishna Prasadam, Krishna Seva. So you speak about Krishna, intake Krishna Prasadam. So slowly, it is going inside. The consciousness is changing. You're reviving your consciousness, and then you're able to remember Krishna very easily. So mind is also actually working along with you. So physically you're able to talk, and at the same time, mind is also working. So you would have this experience. Sometimes when you're sleeping or when you're just sitting, you're not speaking anything, but in the background, your head, there's some Hare Krishna Kirtan is going on, or something related to Krishna, it is talking. So actually the mind is working. So you have to train your mind something like that. Of course, the mind will pull you to looking at your mobile, the Instagram, Facebook, so many nowadays, the short videos, funny videos, or I want to look into shopping, online or TV. A lot of things are there to interfere in our way. So this is how Maya will work. Okay, but I'm not saying we have to cut down everything. Whatever is necessary. Okay, maybe I need some news. I want to get myself updated. Yes, it is required. So if a person is reading whole day the news itself, how will his consciousness be? So something happens in the nation whole day, because the TV channel is like it's breaking the TV all the time, always breaking news. It is not giving news at all. It is always breaking our head. So we are always behind that. Okay, one after another, whole day the TV is going on. So I have my neighbors in Bangalore. So many people every day is such a, the volume is increased. This side Kannada, that side English. So whole day the news is going on, and film songs. So people are getting engaged in completely Maya. No time to remember Krishna. So what happens? You take birth again. So you don't want to take birth again. So remember Krishna. Simple as that. So we have to understand uh, the what Krishna is telling here. I have my nature like this, and in the future chapters, he mentions Arjuna that how you will also are permanent. Both you and I have remembered, but you cannot remember that, Arjuna. but you're also one among of my associates. You're also permanent. So he has already mentioned the concept of soul. So we have to take things seriously, step by step, not become too excited as well. Too much excitement is like very hyper in nature. So slowly, gradually, seriously, very cautiously, we have to take Krishna consciousness and understand, not hastily decide things. So we have to understand our immediate beloveds, be it wife, child, what are their requirements. We have to take care of everyone. So this is how together as a family we will grow, and practicing Bhakti Yoga, we will be able to make it successful in this life itself. So study Bhakti, we have to be very steady. Okay, we should not put a abruptly stop somewhere. So steady Bhakti practice is very much required, which will elevate us ultimately to his eternal place abode. So thus we will be able to end the reincarnation which is happening in different various forms we've been taking, and our memory is just deleting again and again, again and again. So we are going through that experience. We can't remember anything from this life itself. So many things. Somebody reminds me, or I have something, nowadays technology is so much improved. I'm storing my photos, I'm storing my videos. So looking at that, I'm able to remember something. Oh, yes, I remember this particular dress I was wearing. We went to that, river, we played. It was so fun. We talk like this, we spend nice time. So how I'm able to do that because somebody is, sharing with me the old memories. So I'm able to collect. Similarly, Krishna consciousness is, Prabhupada is given us this because he's telling you fool, you've forgotten Krishna. So he's giving us so many things. He has given us books, he has given us Sankirtan, chant and dance. He's giving us so many things so that we can remember, and I'm able to recollect everything. Oh, yes, I am an associate. I am a particle of Krishna. I'll be able to go to him. So that is how from the past we will be able to go into the future with Krishna. So I thank you very much. Always chant and be happy. So that is what is the motto for our Krishna consciousness life. Thank you very much, devotees. Until we meet again. Hare Krishna. Dandavats Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. And
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.